Hi, everybody. This is Phyllis, better known as Miss P, and it's a wonderful, wonderful day. I'm not going to tell you the day because this is being recorded. I have my Whisper Vibes team, or Whisper Vibes Queen, here today, and we are going to discuss, as you know, my podcast. It's a review, but don't go anywhere because even at the end, I got something to give to you for you giving back to me and watching this. Also, this is a new series that we're going to be doing, and it is called Spiritology. It's Spiritology because unapologetic, unchurched, and unmuted. And whatever happens, whatever happens. And we're here to bring and shed light on you so you can live in your promised land today. Um, I believe we are going to go through my podcast, just giving you a little bit of dessert and a little bit of appetizer to just wet your lips on your thoughts, your five gates to say, I want more. And it'll be linked somewhere up here for you to get the full course meal of episode. I believe we're going to be doing 69, and it is, let's see, episode 69 is We Are Family, the functional versus functional support and cast. Earlier, we discussed all the different roles that you play in life. Really, is your life play? And the good news is, I will assist in helping you and teaching you how to just run your own life play. Now, we're going to talk about the functional and functional. First, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to our two guests. The first one we're going to go to is Sheeta. And Sheeta, I would like to know, what was your main take of this? It might be one or two. And tell us your main take of this particular deep, deep, deep podcast about the functional or the functional family.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this one because I felt like it was healing in the sense that I liked how you brought in the sitcoms, the ones about the different families. When you talked about like the Huxtable family, the Cosby Show, and you talked about quite a few other ones, but the ones that stuck out for me was were the Cosbys because I remember growing up just watching them and just being in awe. And I liked how you compared it to um, like supporting cast and empowering people to understand that you have more control over your actual environment. It doesn't matter how you grew up or what your family looked like when you were growing up, that it doesn't define you. Like you could still make your family environment be what you want it to be and you can manifest those things. So it was really, really good. Um,
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Now tell me something. What was your? I like the fact that you talked about the Huxtables. Everybody loved it, the Cosby Show, regardless of how you feel about. We keep their family in prayer. I I knew my take on that was it was a somewhat perfect family, but what shocked me is the mother was a lawyer, the father, of course, was a doctor, and every time they had a situation or some type of emergency crisis within the family, I love the way Cosby put in humor, and he also tried to, teach them a lesson or tell them a lesson. And then I thought the discipline came from the mother, who was cool, sophisticated, and that was something that you just didn't see at that time, and everybody was just drawn to it. It was like, oh, that family I want to um, be a part of. That was the good part of it, but it was some other parts of it. What do you think about that, Sheeta, when it came down to the? I mean, I'm gonna say it. My favorite show was The Monsters. Did you feel that? Is that something you could relate to without telling all your laundry?
Yeah, I mean, I think, with the Cosbys, it was more idealistic, like if you grew up in a family that was similar to like the Monsters or like the Addams family, like you mentioned before, I think everybody kind of wanted, like, looked up to the Cosbys. They looked up to those people because you were like, whoa, here's this Black family that has two parents in the household who, they lived in a really nice home and they parented together. And that was stuff that I didn't see growing up in my household. So I really looked up to that, but that's not everyone's reality. So, I mean, it was great to see it as an example, but it didn't really give you the full picture of what most people's household look like,
Yeah,
and
shout
how
out
you
to Harlem.
navigate that.
Shout out
Yeah.
to Harlem. It was the brownstone, and the brownstone to this day is very, very popular. And I do believe they call them gray stones in Chicago. With that being said, well, I'm going to go to the Monsters and the Adam family because yes, we did have this in. It was funny, but we did have this in this podcast because, in reality, like she said, everybody was in a Husker. You wanted to be like that, but in reality, it was dysfunctional. I came from a dysfunctional family. I had a stepfather. I had a mother. Both of them had drinking issues, and thank God. Well, I'm not even gonna go there. But if I was young, saying that, you would have heard. The bat would have went over my head right now. But they was comical, humorous. I mean, when they got together and played the loud music, it was embarrassing, and very embarrassing. So I went through all of this to tell. I went through all of that to tell you. Some of y'all have a dysfunctional family. You shame, like the Monsters. I said something about they thought they was considered normal, and then when the niece would bring somebody home, they would be running. And I mean, I kind of feel that way. I'm not bringing nobody over to my place. I'm not bringing nobody to meet my family because all of a sudden they're gonna go and get drunk and whatever, whatever. And but the thing is that functional family, these are your supporting cast. Unfortunately, when you young, your mother, your father rules they like your life play until you can get older. And what did you think was actually funny? What anything that was humorous to you? Because I always bring humor because hey, you gotta laugh. Laugh is medicine.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple funny parts, but I liked when you said that, you know, and everybody probably remembers if it wasn't your house, you had that one house on the block that was called Broke.
Yes.
And I laughed because I remember, everybody knew about that one house that everybody was like, "Ooh, what's going on over there today?" And they looking out the windows to see what's happening. So I think
Yes, yes,
everybody can
yes.
relate to that.
Right. That is so that's cool because I think the thing about the Broke, I do believe I had the Mrs. The Jones. People do try to find the not Mrs. Jones, y'all, not the record, but they try to find follow the Joneses, and sometimes the people they had the nice cars or was out there washing their car all the time. You didn't really know they was broke. A lot of people that was broke had the best clothes, so it was sort of secretive in a sense. I would say because everything that I do is around spiritual awakening, spiritual healing through God word. And unfortunately, we did have the family who was, I think, spiritually broken, and you didn't know until you start hearing the cases of what happened, what was really going on with the kids in that particular house. But yeah, the Broke, I don't know if I said Broke Boulevard, but I always go into that because that's in my book also. And one more thing, we're gonna go ahead and bring Patty. And Patty, what was your main point?
What I liked about that when you mentioned that everybody has some dysfunctional family members, so and you're born into this family. So one thing you mentioned is when you question God and say, "Hey, why was I born into this family?" And you mentioned some things. You never know why you was born into this family. You could be the person that was born to break the generational curse. You know, you have the power to change your outcome. You may be there to, you know, show your parents how to be parents. You may be there to just show for the next generation. And I thought about the Jeffersons, how, you know, they moved on up, how George Jefferson became, you know, a wealthy man. And he did talk about how his father was a sharecropper on the sitcom. So he had the power to change his outcome. He just didn't wait for anything to happen. He changed it because he knew the power he had. He demonstrated the power that he had to change his outcome. So that was the part that I liked.
Excellent. And I think the Jefferson was my favorite because I did say, you know, no offense to the good times, but the good times was literally all that was wrong. And they always had a participation anxiety of something is going to happen good, but then it would turn out to be bad. And I got so tired because that is a reflection of just showing you that, you know, it's almost like people expect, I think to this day, people expect the worst. You know what I'm trying to say? And when you see something like that, good times, it got to a point where it was always sad. And that sinks into your five gates, everybody who knows me. And that's also in my book, Spiritology, where I discuss that for a reason, because whatever goes into you bring into your, or allowed to come into your five gates, you become that, your world become that. It was like a reality show. And you have to be very, very careful because even back then with the good times, it became the norm for everything to start going wrong. I know toward with the end of the sitcom, they really was going toward with something positive. But like she said, like Patty said, the Jeffersons, they were moving on up. And I feel that the good news is the gospel, which is the good news, the good spell that you need to put on yourself. And I'm talking about with your words, okay? This is no hocus pocus. With your words, what you allow in your ear gate, your eye gate, you need to speak positive. You need to think positive. The Jeffersons portrayed we going up. We are not going to step back. And he made it known. He walked with his little pimp lip, and he really showed you. It was fun. It was exciting. It was funny. The maid, everybody was so funny in that sitcom, and I do believe that a lot of people just was turned off of the good times. It was there for a reason. The good time was there for a reason. So, and Patty, you're all right with that. It's always like a why. She said something about the generational curses, and yeah, you can stop it. If your family is like the Adam family, which was one of my best, I loved the Adam family because I thought they were sophisticated, cool. But dysfunctional in a sense, but you couldn't tell them that listen, that they had it going on. And she talked about generational curses. I would say labels, generational labels that come down. So and so got diabetes. You have to have diabetes. This is something that I teach even in my services, that you don't have to carry that label. And what Patty was talking about, generational whatever curse, you don't want to bring the negativity down. You don't want to bring it down to the next family. So what if your mother and your father didn't, wasn't working, they had hard times, they was appearing to be like the good times? You can come and say, hey, I'm going to stop that. This is my life play. What was funny about it, Patty?
The part where you said the man that was at Bethesda, you said that he was too busy sitting around looking at the world, or he probably could have been gossiping about everybody. He didn't realize that it was time for him to go to the pool and get healed. You demonstrated how he was just sitting around, could have been gossiping.
Excellent. And it's funny she said that because I'm going to start doing things based on doing some of my I'm going to do some series about just what the scripture really mean, because a lot of people don't know a scripture unless their pastor open up the Bible and show them a scripture. It's a meaning behind those scriptures. It's a spiritual meaning and a physical meaning. And she's absolutely right. A lot of people just sat on the sideline like that man. And when Jesus came to heal him, a lot of people is like, I want this. I want to be healed, but I don't want to eat right.
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
be healed. I'm not getting up because if I get up and start walking, they're going to cut my benefits. Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
Did y'all hear me out there? It's
Yeah.
the reason that people are where they at. Your circumstances will reveal you. So that I
Yeah.
thought that was funny, but it was sad at the same time. So what we're gonna do, since y'all don't, those of you who had just came in, we actually want you to go ahead and comment, and those who will be seeing the recording later, please comment. What kind of family you had? Did your family resemble the Adam family? How about the married with children? They was humorous, but it was a lot of verbal, seriously abuse, comical. It was, I don't know. Tell me. Why don't you put in the comment? What did your family look like? What did your family look like? And what we're gonna do is, because we are on, we are family dysfunction versus functional support and cast. We are reviewing from episode 69. Let's give you a little taste from that episode, and we'll be right back. Family. So you have to be careful. You can create the play, and sometimes you really think that somebody is there for you, and they not. That can be your friends, your so-called good friends. Your enemies might be your best friend, because I had said before, just because they on the set, they are some people just come to your set, just that aunt or uncle, just to see if that set is going to blow up. I mean, I know, because I got people in my family who will not come around unless somebody's getting ready to die, or somebody in a hospital. And then after that, they gone. Don't have nothing to do with you. And people look at you like, you wrong. You lock that person out your plate. No, no. Sometimes you know what you do? Handle them with a long silver spoon. And I would just don't give them the key. They shouldn't be able to come in and out, in and out. Now, this should help you. But let me explain something to you. That person, how when you go to a person's house, and I don't know if you did this when I was young. I should always do this. I would go to the bathroom and I would look in people's bathroom cabinet, medicine cabinet. They shouldn't call it medicine, because I try my best to not be one of those who have medicine. But you do it when you grown. And I have heard horror stories where men say they go in there and literally in that cabinet, or even your bathroom, they can tell if you're going to be high maintenance because you have too much makeup. Clean. Yes, yes, yes. That's the story. No, I don't go on people. I know I'm not gonna get invited. I'm not gonna get no invitation. We grown now. We grown people now. But I used to go in there and look, but I was just curious. I love to see people cabinets. And I mean,
Mhm.
and I don't do that. All of those when I come visit you, I really don't have the time or patience. I can care less what you got to look at. But I was young, and I used to always want to go in people's bathroom. And if the mother wasn't home, I like to look through the refrigerator. I was just a nosy teenager or child. So no harm done with that. But really, did y'all hear that? What I had taught right there had a lot to do with family. Unfortunately, you say, Miss P, what do I do with the family? They tell me this, they tell me that, everybody's pulling me. You're going to have to go back to the podcast, because you're going to realize through these podcasts, you're going to realize that you are in charge of your life play, and especially family. Family, you usually kick everybody out and you close the door. You invite everybody, and you invite the wrong family members that are there just to harm you. Some of your friends are just there to see you. Everybody got a lot of friends when you suffering, but when you're doing good, you got to watch it. So let's go back to, first of all, I just thank both of these young beautiful queens for coming in. Patty's all the way in Africa, and Sheeta is right from Texas. Sheeta, go ahead and in closing, We are going to see what you think about what did you learn? What are you going to take with you in life from this particular episode?
Yeah, I mean, I learned a lot. I learned that you don't have to be ashamed of where you came from. You know, like Patty touched on, there's a reason, you know, why you were born into the family you were born into, and you could change things around. So I learned not to be ashamed of where I came from, but to embrace, you know, all the dysfunction, and take something positive from it and to apply it to my own household and take more control over the people that I trust to let into those close, intimate spaces. And then just like really recognizing that just because everyone else doesn't see the vision that you have for your family, or they may not understand what you're trying to do, you still have a spirit, that you have a source that you're feeding, you know, and that God might be giving you a vision or have a plan for your life that other people might, they just might not understand it, and they may not be meant to go on that journey with you. And it's okay. Um, and it's okay to be kind of isolated sometimes, in a sense, to have that peace that you need when you don't have the chaos and things around you. So I learned a lot from it. I think that going forward, I'll continue to apply some of those things from the podcast. And I always like to listen to them more than one time, because sometimes you
Excellent.
forget.
Oh yeah, of course you do. And when I listen to it, I'll be like, "Was that me? Was that? Was that? Did I say that? What was that? What was that sitcom? I forgot. Well, what's his name? Say, did I do that? Oh
Oh,
God,
Family
Steve
Matters.
Steve Orchid or Steve, right? Family Matters.
Urkel.
That Urkel. That was also a great. That was. I thought that was real down to earth and great.
Mhm.
So Patty, all the way from Africa. What do Africa have to say today about what did you learn and what you're going to take with you?
Well, one thing I've learned, I can't control the family that I came from, right? But I can't control the outcome. I can't control how I allow my past, my dysfunctional family to affect my own family that I created. So I did learn that I am in control of that. You can't, you don't necessarily want to get rid of your family, because pretty much really you can't, but you can, as you said, you can feed them with a long handle spoon and just embrace and learn from what you were taught in your family. Either you're going to take it with you, or you got the power to change it.
Hmm. Excellent. Excellent. I really do appreciate what she was saying. In closing, we just wanted to thank you first of all, and we want to know definitely what type of family you think you have. We might have not mentioned them right now. Some of y'all might have one of those what Star Trek family, and everybody's on the high and say, "Beam me up." So I mean, well, I mean, I'm keeping it real. Come on now, and then y'all might not be on the high. You might be, honeymooners, bam, boom, whatever. You know how he used to say. It
Yeah.
be arguments, a lot of drama, but some people say it's drama, but it could be good. It could be a reality show. It's a lot of reality shows out there. But what we really want you to know, if you got anything, we want you to smile today. We want you to laugh today. But we also want you to know, I think Sheeta and Patty summed it up. Sheeta really was, talking about the vision and the journey. Some people can't go with you. Some people cannot go with you. And I know some of you say, I want to take this person with me, but sometimes people are dead weight. And when you have even family members that's dead weight, you have to handle them with a long silver spoon. Respect them where they are, but don't get mad at them if they don't understand why you want to become a doctor or why you want to run your own business. Don't get mad at them because they just don't get it. This is your life play, and especially if you have kids, that's your family. You're their first really boss. You're the first CEO. Run your home the way it's supposed to be run. Like she was told the broke family, but broke boulevard. You don't want to be that family that everybody say broke, but I'm talking about in the spirit. I definitely heard Patty loud and clear when she was talking about you have control. You see people have walked over your mother, your father. You had one parent. You didn't have no parents. Some of y'all was adopted. We here to let you know, yes, you're not the only one who had a dysfunctional family. We all had a dysfunctional family. sometimes I look back and I recall saying, "Oh, I want to be like this one. I want to be like this one." And one time, somebody close to me said, "You don't know what they're going through." And this person was in a public eye. It was a singing family. I'm not going to name it. And as I had grew older, I realized they was very dysfunctional. So a lot of
Yeah.
y'all that have your young daughters and sons just, looking at and admiring and worshiping some of these actors and artists, you don't know what they're going through. You don't know what they went through because nobody on here can walk into each other's shoes. Some of y'all look at me, oh, Miss P, you just got it all together. You organized, Well, you see my desk. I mean, I'm not really that organized. But with that being said, I feel like it's a place for everything. And one of the biggest places is you control you. Don't let people come into your life and say, this is the way it's supposed to be. This is the way to put. Who cares if the naysayers call you this? Who cares if the naysayer say to you, I don't really think that you know God because you're not in the New Testament. Who cares what they get up and say? I don't like the way you look on YouTube. Who cares if they look at you and they say, I don't like your earrings, they're too big. You know what? Don't worry about it. Just get up and move on up. Like the Jefferson said, keep on moving and moving and moving and moving. Well, Miss P, when do I stop? Oh, you don't want to stop. You want to live in your promised land. What is your promised land? Your heart desire, the good things that you want that's doing no one harm. And at the end of the day, you're going to realize that your promised land is really not for you, it's for everyone else. So you stay tuned. We have some freebies. If you look in the link, you get some freebies. Oh, yes, you will, just for coming in. Whatever you do, just don't forget. If you want to see more of us, you got to subscribe. Thank you again. Thank you, Sheeta. Thank you, Patty. And we will see you
You're welcome.
again.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Remember, if loving yourself is right, you don't want to be wrong.
Hello, beautiful souls. Are you ready to take back your promised land today? Miss P and her Whisper Vice team would love to thank each and every one of you for joining us today. Your energy and presence mean the world to us. Enlightenment happens when you visit her website, www.selfwhisper.com. There you will find services to help elevate your mind, body, and soul. You also offer products ranging from books to uplifting messages on t-shirts and other products. Be sure to head on over and check them out. Miss P would love to keep in touch with you, and that's why she invites you to join her community. When you do leave your information, you'll receive a free 15-minute prophetic discovery call. Remember, if loving self is right, you don't want to be wrong. If you would please like, subscribe, follow, and share.